Hey everybody, welcome back to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. My name is Dylan. I got a really fun one. As I always say, they're fun because I have fun doing these videos. That's why I do videos. I love to look at my cards, and talk through the cards into the camera as I'm talking to my friends because I like to hear that stuff too. Um, so it's like I get excited because it's like I got time. I set her up at a pop-up shop. She's selling her artwork right now, and I can hang out with my cards. And I've been organizing for about an hour and a half. And I'm like, dude, I got all my 55 tops cards out, and I just gotta have a new pickup from George Diamond Yard Sports Cards that I bought live on the Misfits Live 2 weeks ago. So that's gonna be part of this. This is a countdown video of 1955 tops cards that I own. Greg Midlife Cards had a sick video he did. He had 3 friends on there, and they all voted for their top 5 favorite 1955 tops cards. No reason, rhyme or reason, any reason they wanted. Didn't have to be the most valuable or this or without rookies, with rookies, none of that. It was their personal favorite 5s. And, it's so fun because you're like, no way, that was terrible, that's terrible. We all want our 2 cents. And so I voted on there. But then I don't know if I changed it from what you're going to see here. So I'm going to share with you my entire collection, talk about the cards as I go, spend my time on some, go fast through others. I don't know what's going to pop through my brain while we look at these cards, but that's what is enjoyable for me. And, like I say, I can sit in bed and turn the volume down. I can look at my cards up close on a digital format on a large screen in bed. It's pretty sick, right? I can enjoy my collection from bed while my wife goes to sleep and no noise needed. All right, here we go. It's like I don't know, it's just relaxing for me to look at cards. I mean, we all have that. Anyone watching this right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. Well, let's just start out with a banger here. So you'll see the ones that are not the top 5 will be not ranked, okay? I'm just going to share with you some of my cards. All of my 55 tops collection. First one out of the gates, none other than Harmon Killebrew. Incredible home run hitter. Overshadowed because the 50s was stacked with legends. Just like now, stacked with future legends that we don't know who is a legend yet. And that's what I love. And guys like this, you can still get so affordable. I probably paid $200 for this. I did buy this when after I went for centering and, the overall look of the card. My cards are not perfect, okay? And I am not judging anyone for how they collect their cards. And I don't want anyone to be ashamed to share a card because there's damage on it or there's writing or there's a print mark. I have that stuff on my cards too. I have a tolerance on certain years, certain sets, and I will never be ashamed to share cards that don't fit what I always preach, like dead center, like this card. This card's pretty much ideal. Like this is a magical 1955 tops card. But there's still some, there's tiny little print dots here, little thing here. But what I know, because I've collected those 7s and 8s this whole time, was 7s and 8s also have print lines and out of focus and so many issues as well. You can find these lower graded examples and pay a fraction of the price. And you know what? It's an honest card. I heard that on, who did I hear that from? It is not from, those are not my words. And I said it before. Maybe it was in that text or like a comment. But it'll come to me at some point. I never heard it say that way, but it's an honest card. When you have a card that looks like that and it's got a little wear, and that's my collection as the cards get older. This next one here, not dead centered, okay? But what a beautiful baseball card of Monty Irving. I mean, dude, is that sick? It's a really, 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 really beautiful card. I'm not selling this card. I'm not buying another one unless one comes across. I'm not out hunting for it. It's not dead centered, but it looks really nice. And what I'll do is when I do find one that is better, as meaning better centered, not a higher grade, then I'll probably buy it anyways, and then I'll go through them and finally sell a double one day, like I did, and you'll see some in here. I sold a lot of 55s during my purge, because most of them were all off-centered and print lines and just some other random things. Dude, how sick is this right here? What was the greatest number of men left on base in one game? That's pretty sick. Look at that stack. How many? 32, Philadelphia versus Brooklyn in 1932. That's a sick fact right there. Bam. I mean, how the backs on these 55s, okay? Card number 100. So you know Monty Irving had a great season in 1953. Or 54. 1954. Because the prior year is what Topps will go off of and give you like a special number. Or something happened in 54 that they honored him at card number 100. I love Topps is always thinking about that. They've been thinking about that for a long time. And the tradition still goes on today. That's one reason I collect those Mantle number 7s, because it's an honoring him, and it's just a really sick thing. Oh, look how they're stacking up in the background. 55s look so good, all lined up. All right, next one here. Probably like the worst eye appeal one I have in the whole collection. I had almost an entire binder page of these Ted Williams 55 Topps, and this is on the glass, like glass shattering inside. It bothers me, but you know, I got a dot on here that bothers me too. So it is what it is. And one day I can crack this out, maybe put it in one of my Mag Pros if they make bigger examples. But one thing about my 55 Topps set is all my Topps cards, I'm trying to not have wrinkles and creases. Wrinkles I can live with, and even a crease if it's just in a spot you can't see or anything. But in my 55 Topps collection, I don't have a single wrinkle or crease across any one of these cards you're going to see. So that was a big thing for me. That's why if you'll see some of my older ones, my older pickups like this, it was all about not having a crease. So when I saw like rounded corners, or when I would look for other issues on cards and be like, well, if that thing has issues there, most likely it doesn't have a crease or a wrinkle. Now, I could have asked the seller, and I probably should have. That's the smart move on every card, but I don't. And I didn't. I kind of used my own judgment on it, and I have gotten burned a couple times. Just recently. But I'm turning corners on things left and right. Like, if I'm true to myself, how sick is this right here? This is so sick. I gotta be true to myself. Is like, if I'm displaying this, and it's how I enjoy it the most, is when it's in my binder or on my wall. But I also love to hold them in hand and move them around. But when they're displayed, the wrinkles and creases, the right ones do go away. But I don't have any in this. And this is the Ted Williams, man. I had like a binder full of these. I sold so many. Kept this one. I think I sold 3. I told you when I started YouTube, I think I had more Ted Williams Playing Days cards than anybody else in my collection, which is insane. I sold off a lot of Ted Williams. So I don't know if I have any doubles right now, which is crazy. I think I had 3 56s. Yeah, and that's the best Ted Williams I had. So I need to work on that one too, but it's beautiful. It's a great looking card. This one is really nice. Next one, not ranked yet. We're not in the top 5. I have 10 cards, so I'll tell you guys when we're in the top 5. Al Kaline with the sick old Tigers logo. These cards are, the design on 55 just blow my mind. You have the autograph, facsimile autograph on the card. You have the guy's face nice and big. You see the nameplate right here. Outfield where he played, Detroit Tigers. And then you have him swinging, pitching, posing. Just all kinds of different things right here. And then you got the sickest logos. Like, oh my gosh. The logos from the 50s. The team logos were next level. This K-line's next level right here. Now this is the perfect specimen. This is very nice looking cards. You know what else? I never talk about a card that should have a higher number. I've never once looked at my cards and thought that. What I've always said, and from the beginning, is when I look at my card, I just want it to look really good. I think there's flaws in this that makes this a 3.5, just like every single card I own. Now we're finding out more and more that there aren't flaws. So technically some of my cards, yes, are undergraded, but I don't look at it like that. I assume technically they're correct, and the eye appeal just really just hits the spot for me. So I don't care. That's the thing that you really gotta get all the way to that spot to not care about the number on the slab. I truly do not care. I wouldn't put this in this is what I want a baseball card to look like. This one right here is just next level bonkers. If all my cards look like that, oh my gosh, sometimes there's magical cards. And that one in particular is special. That could have been in someone's top 5 too, easily. Al Kaline, second year card. Let's not forget, second year cards are some of my favorite I've ever collected. Harmon Killebrew rookie card. 55 is loaded. And the beautiful colors. Okay, let me see. We're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one before the countdown begins. This one was on my list, off my list, on my list, back off my list. It's one of the prettiest cards in the whole set, in my opinion. I've had, the Warren Spawn, I've had too, and that's a really, really nice card too. But Eddie Matthews, shout out to Pastor Craig. They did a countdown of, kind of a countdown of favorite, cards that everyone should own, every collector should own. And he put this on there, and he had an incredible example. A absolutely perfect specimen. I mean, this card right here, for me, for my collection, this thing is a dreamboat. Like, this is like next level nice, almost too nice. It looks like that last one. It looks like the K-line. I think the K-line looked better. I think it was just a slightly bit better. Maybe even better centered. I mean, this thing's pretty spot on, but dude, look at that. Eddie Matthews, man. Overshadowed by Hank Aaron, but not really. I mean, Eddie Matthews, he's still a legend. He's legendary. Okay, top 5, guys. Here we go. Now it's getting serious. Getting into the nitty-gritty, the good stuff. And there are cards from this set I do not own. And I'll tell you at the end. I mean, you'll kind of figure it out as I go. And one I sold not too long ago, and it was a big one. All right, this next one. Oh, yes, here we go. This is cool for me because I have had this on my desk for like a week now or 5 days. Looking it over and just displaying it everywhere. And it's my most recent pickup. Now, I saw this on a live. And George Diamond Yard, I trust him for his eyes because it's impossible to see, good video. And then he sent me photos, and I go, dude, that fits my collection right there. It fits my collection. I've wanted this card for so long. Is it perfect? No. But it hit the spot and the right price and the right timing and how fun it was to buy this card. I mean, I didn't purchase it technically on the live, but I I said, put that aside. I want that. We struck a deal for Willie Mays. Coming in at number 5, probably biased because I just got it. I almost didn't put it in, but I just had to put it in my top 5. Just for the reasons that I just picked it up. And it's a freaking Willie Mays, right? I mean, it's really a gorgeous card. No creases, no wrinkles again. It's shooting for what I want my cards to look like. Just a really appealing card to look at. Oh man, Willie Mays, 1955 tops. It never gets old holding these cards, looking at these cards. It gives me that feeling like when I was a kid and seeing these on displays at Knott's Berry Farm, in the Knott's Berry Farm shopping center. There was cards too. There was a full card shop, and there was a little card shop within the store, right next to the chicken house. And seeing Willie Mays, Hank Aaron cards, oh my gosh, I love it. And George got this re-slabbed, I believe, because it's an older cert number. It's the 2s, the magical 2 cert numbers I always talk about because of Ben Blick's cards. But he said they dog-eared it when they re-slabbed it. And I go, dude, I don't care. Send it over. I don't care about a dog ear. I still buy that card. Give me that card. Ah, that's beautiful. It's the perfect, it's not perfect example. It's a perfect example for my collection. And when one comes up that looks like that LK line, I'll snatch it up, and then I can trade this for top trade, right? If I find cards that are just they feel good to my eyes, they look good, and they feel good, they're the fit in my collection. Always wanted this card. Oh man, and where it came from with George, the whole night, like it's a really special card now in my collection. I freaking love it. Let's see. I don't want to be blocking everyone. We'll do, I guess, yeah, it's too, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it right there. Okay. I'm just playing. You guys just let go. The plastic case doesn't matter. All right. Coming in. Whoa, man, that was 5. This is number 4. This could be number 1 as well. So could that Willie Mays. I'd say they're the only 2 right there you could possibly consider as your number 1, I think. But yeah, Connor McKilver too. So you're a fan of his, like Stukes. Jackie Robinson and 1955 tops. I mean, this card just beautiful. Such a great card of Jackie. And 1955, the Dodgers winning the World Series. Yeah, it's just another one of those cards that when you get it, you have a Jackie Robinson card, 55, and you're like, wow, that's sick. Yeah, I bought this after my centering kick and hunted for this card and found this example, and I'm freaking super stoked on it. I love it. It's in my binder. It's beautiful. And I didn't pay over comps because I kept hearing, John 3Days Kid bought his, and I just remember I didn't look up comps when I bought this, but I've known from seeing others sell, so I'm like, wow, okay, that was before everyone was talking about centering. I was blabbing about it, or it was midway through, till you guys couldn't handle it anymore, shoving it down everyone's throats. That was, during the middle of it or in the beginning stages. So now I feel like it's so hard to find a centered card on eBay. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. But it's also maybe I'm on eBay less, not looking around, I was diving deep for cards I wanted when I had all those cards that I sold off. I had money to spend. I kept finding more and more to sell. And so now I just really gotta pump the brakes. I still got cards I'm selling that some modern stuff that were PSA 10s and more base and things that I'm not in my binders, which you guys have seen. I love, there's nothing like though getting a 55 tops card, and there's nothing like getting a Jackie Robinson card. So coming in at number 4, Jackie Robinson. You can just see the looks of my cards. They all look the same, right? Even across the grades. You know, there's a few to, you know, there's things to be desired on some, but I'm very pleased with every single card in this collection. I love them. Speak of that, this is hands down my most perfect specimen in my collection, or in my 55 Topps collection. And I had 2 of these. And this is ranked number 3. I think it's just one of his he has so many good looking cards. But it's none other, and no one even gave this a vote. Ernie Banks. I can't believe that Greg didn't give Ernie Banks a vote. Unbelievable. Yeah, I think he forgot when he was making his list. I think he had it written down. But this specimen right here is gorgeous. Now, I had 2 examples that were absolutely stunning because I looked and looked for this card, and then I found one, and then I ran across one like a year later, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't not make a play for it. It was a buy it now. It popped up because it was still on my watch list, and I was like, holy smokes. So I bought it, and I had both of them for a long time. You know, the last year or so, I finally sold I think it was a 4.5 PSA or a 4 PSA. Thing was stunning, but I sold it for good money. I was like, yes, I overpaid then, and it wasn't that much longer where, you know, versus the comps at that time. I know because, you know, I was looking for that card a long time, seen a bunch ending. You know, for Topps cards, you don't have to look up comps every time because when you're in the game, you're looking at cards, you get the feel for what an Ernie Banks card goes for. You know, in his second year card, you get a feel for cards when you're looking at a million of them. And then the second you see a 7 or an 8 sell, everything goes out the window, and you're like, dude, who cares if you spend $250 or $150 on this card? It doesn't matter. You're not paying $1,000 for like a 6. I don't know. I'm guessing, or a 7. You're not paying $5,000 for an 8. I don't know. Maybe you're paying $1,500 for an 8, $2,000 for an 8, $1,000 for a 7. But even if you paid $300 for this card, to me, it's still a deal. So that's how I've gone about it. And when I've sold ones, they've sold for good money. And it makes me, you know, it's not, you know, after eBay fees and everything, it wasn't about making money. It never was. I wasn't never going to sell the card, but I ran out of cards to sell, and I didn't need doubles of an Ernie Banks 1955 Topps card. But I kind of regret that sale because it was so nice. And the smart thing would have been blow money with, you know, Mike Baker sticker and have them sticker it up and get another $100 extra. I don't get it. I get it, but I totally get it because if those stickers help people, and they equalize things even more. As I said from day one in my video, you know, grading is the great equalizer. It helps every collector in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not every collector, but most collectors. All right, ranking number 2. Oh man, this card's almost been sold a couple times. I even put it up for sale, and then I took it down right away, and it's here. It's staying in my collection. It's kind of the oddball out because the corners are so sharp. I don't have very many cards in this collection that have corners that'll cut your eye open. The color on 55 Topps Hank Aaron's always look bright. So it's this to find one that's this vibrant. Most of them look this vibrant. It's like the Ted Williams is the lightest of the yellows when you look at the examples, and then like the Harmon Killebrew, and then the Jackie's a little darker. You can see them as you're hunting them down. And Hank Aaron's one of those cards that I had it at number 1 numerous times, being my favorite card in my 55 collection because it is that vibrant, it is that bright, but it's not this example of the card. This card in general pops, and it's his second year card. It's just that really, you could easily put this as Hank Aaron's best looking baseball card. Facsimile autograph, the logo, the face shot, him swinging through, the name Hank Aaron, outfield, Milwaukee Braves, and the hat. It's just nothing like it, right? Look on the back of this card, Henry Louis Aaron. If you're friends with him, make sure you call him Henry. Look at that. Look at this card. Just the overall design, this card is really magical. Coming in at number 2. It's the only one, it's the only one that really kind of stands out as looking different. Maybe in that Ted Williams of my 55s. But it's not going anywhere. It's nice to have examples of some sharp corner cards, little off-centered. And that thing still looks nice. Like it's still really, it's pretty well centered. This last card, no brainer. Of course, this is the number 1. If you don't put it at number 1, you either don't own the card or you just don't know what a good-looking baseball card looks like. I'm joking, but serious. When it comes to design, it's just too beautiful. It looks so incredible. The Roberto Clemente rookie card. Easily one of my favorite cards in my collection. I mean, you just never thought, I never thought I'd own a Clemente rookie card. And then when I went on the centering kick, I never thought I would own a Clemente rookie card centered. Because you just can't find them. You could look at 99% of the 7s in there off-centered. 8s. 9s are mostly diamond cut, but I have seen one example in the flesh, and it was probably the same example I saw that's being auctioned off shortly. Dead centered, like the crispiest looking card I ever seen. But this card is so perfect in my collection. And shout out to Jason. You guys don't know him. My buddy Jason, I know he's watching. I bought this card from him. He sold it on eBay. I didn't know who he was. But then after I bought it, running out of batteries, you guys are lucky. Right after I bought it, I emailed him, I sent him a message, and I asked him, is there any creases in there? I think he might even said, I've watched your channel before. I was like, what? This is crazy. We are great friends now. We text every day. It's just fun. I never would have thought I would make friends with somebody I bought a card off of eBay for. And it's all because, I'm sharing my collecting mantra on YouTube. And I'm enjoying sharing it. I'm enjoying talking my way through building my collection with you guys. Whether you think I'm out of my mind or not, I enjoy it. That's what I love. So ending it on this card here, let me put them all together before my battery dies and give my end speech as I do. Woo, baby, look at those. Hope you guys are inspired out there. Just have a good time with this hobby. These are my favorite things to do, are rank cards, like designs and all that. So don't be influenced by guys like me. Shaka.